Wa tume IEBC Wafula Chebukati yuko mbele ya kamati ya Bunge ambapo kwa sasa anatoa maelezo kuhusu sakata ya shilingi bilioni 9 zilizotumiwa visivyo katika uchaguzi mkuu mwaka uliopita. Tusikize ni yapi yanayoendelea.
Now here we have the extracts are here and we are ready to proceed. Subject the ruling of
okay, fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Chebukati.
For that, as it had been mentioned earlier by our senior Otiendi, Bwana Chairman, whatever you are talking about, are they backed by law, or they are your own decisions? Can you quote anywhere in the law which protects whatever you are doing?
This section 27 of the IEBC Act provides for management of information, and section 27 subsection 3, subject to Article 35, which Honorable Kitendawili has referred to, the Commission may decline to give information to an applicant where the request is unreasonable in the circumstances, which is not in this case. The information requested is at a deliberate stage by the Commission, at a stage of the Commission, which is not in this case. A failure of payment of prescribed fee, that's not the case, or the applicant failed to satisfy any confidentiality requirements by the Commission. So,
fair enough.
Article 35 is there. I appreciate the existence of 35. Yes. Yes.
You see, Article 35, the Act of IEBC does not apply to this committee. The Constitution gives Parliament and the committee original powers to ask for any evidence, any witness, and anything. So if we feel that minutes are part of issues that can help the committee, this becomes a small matter.
Yes. And in addition,
yes, Honorable Tende, finally.
In addition, not only does the IEBC Act not override Article 35, and Senior Chebukati, you also know first that the conditions you've read, none of them are applicable in this case. But thirdly, the Access to Information Act was a subsequent act, which therefore takes precedence over the IEBC Act in that respect. So, for me, I think that we are trying to be reasonable, but our reasonableness must be based on some fact or some legitimate fear. That's what I'm driving at, not some general presupposition that everything, ought to be, confidential.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tiende. I think, Honorable members, having listened to keenly to Mr. Chebukati, and having, of course, heard from our colleague members, the committee is making this decision on that matter. One, we shall get access to the original minutes in full, okay? And the committee, being a responsible committee of Parliament, will then make a decision on how to treat those minutes, including whether to allow media to have access to them or not. And therefore, in short, our directive of yesterday stands, that the minutes shall be availed to us in complete form, without any form of reduction. We proceed on that basis. Yeah. And therefore, I'll go back to my earlier question, Mr. Chebukati, and allow my colleagues to pick up from there. In the meantime, I expect the minutes to be circulated in the complete form and nature. Mr. Chebukati, is it your evidence before this committee that your commission had no role whatsoever in deciding the method of procurement of the KIMS kit, rather than listening to submissions by the accounting officer, listening to recommendations of the accounting officer in the plenary? You must come out very clearly on that here.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I mentioned that part of our job is to oversight the Secretariat, and that is our core business, other than making policy and strategy. the issue of KIMS was brought to the Commission by the Secretariat saying we want to proceed by way of direct procurement. And I mentioned minute number 175, the resolution of that meeting with procurement of KIMS in accordance with the law. That's the resolution the plenary made.
Okay.
Proceed in accordance with the law. And that resolution will resonate in all the minutes as you look at them with all the procurement matters.
Okay.
So that's what we decided as
Members?
a commission. Yes.
Honorable Tiende first, then Honorable Junet, in that order.
You'll bear with me because I reserved my questions from yesterday. And their number, I think we'll start from where the part 1, Roman 1, award of the contract. And Chairman, I'll start from exactly where you left. First of all, Chairman.
Yes.
The Chairman of the Commission.
Okay.
You read to us, you cited to us Section 11 of the Act, of the IEBC Act, which gives the Commission the formulation of policy, strategy, and oversight. Later, in the Act, there is the role of the Secretary to the Commission, which is provided for in Section 10. I want to suggest to you that there is no role for the Commission Secretary to make a fundamental decision, like procuring the KIMS kit with the approval of the Commission first, not subsequently. That's my suggestion. Just note it. I'll ask a number of questions. Secondly, I want to suggest that it was the role of the Commission, insofar as policy formulation, strategy, and oversight, to determine how to procure, whether to procure, and from whom to procure the KIMS kit. And that the failure to do that was either a usurpation by the Chief Executive or a failure to execute its duty by the Commission. I invite your comment. The third question is in terms of the procurement itself. This was a direct procurement, and the Chief Executive yesterday took us through Section 103 of the Procurement Act. I have gone through Section 103, and I want to suggest, not to you, to the Chief Executive, the Acting Chief Executive.